Hello friends, it's July 18th, and on today's podcast, I'll be going over a serial Brain2 blog entitled Trump's Brilliant Chess Combination in Helsinki. Also, after this podcast will be followed by another one including memes and today's news on tonight's True Reporting. Hey friends, I trust you're doing well on this Wednesday evening. In front of me I have a serial Brain2 blog entitled Trump's Brilliant Chess Combination in Helsinki. I know you all were watching when Trump went to Finland and spoke with Vladimir Putin. A lot of normies out there are very upset about this. It's very off-putting to them. They think that Trump is treasonous and Trump is going against the norm and all this stuff. You know, they're completely asleep and it's sad, and I just disregard it at this point. I hope you do too, because it cannot bring you nothing but just sadness and just aggravation. But enough with that, because we know the truth, right? So let's go ahead and hop into this. This is True Reporting. So Serial Brain2 says, they blame people for what they themselves do. Projection. How long, for those of you who have followed this podcast, have I been talking about projection? That's all they do. The cabal does nothing but point the finger. So anytime they point the finger accusing Trump of something, they have done it. That's the way I look at it the whole time, this whole time. So anyways, Q1675 riddle. Do reflections violate national security rules? Do reflections violate national security rules? Where must one be located in order to obtain a reflection on the back of a phone of that image? Image provided here has been distorted, stretched. Think mirror, look there, or here in the kill box, or there. Truth is behind you. They accused Trump of being in collusion with Russia. We now know they were the ones in collusion with Russia. More flexibility and uranium 1. Now, an interesting application of Rule 0 would be to list all their accusations and use them as a starting point to analyze them. For example, they insisted Putin had some dirt on Trump, so Putin has some dirt on them. Rule 0, right? Pretty cool, right? Now you can take this working hypothesis and check if down the line it's not in contradiction with events. If it is not, it is likely to be true. Then, if you remove the hypotheses and cannot explain events rationally, no matter how hard you and other smart people try, then you know the hypothesis is as true as not being able to find a rational explanation to the events it induces. So, when you get here, what you do is take the hypotheses as a working hypothesis. Call it a strong hypothesis, and you go further in your own analysis to gather some other data that would reinforce the likelihood of strong hypotheses being 100% true. Application. We know about the contortionist, he's referring to Obama, and how he weakly dealt with Crimea. We know about the witch, Hillary Clinton, and how she arranged the sale of 20% of our uranium to Russia. Let's remove the hypotheses Putin had some dirt on them and analyze. Is there a rational explanation for their treasonous behavior? I can't find any. Money? Gaddafi? Gaddafi had plenty of money and was ready to play ball, just as he played ball with Sarkozy, but instead she came, he saw, he died. It's not just about money. There has to be another power forcing the transaction. If we go further and notice Putin is ex-KGB, that according to their own Comey, the witch's, Hillary Clinton, private server was probably hacked, and that nobody knows the truth about the contortionist's, Obama, his birth certificate. We have gathered data reinforcing the likelihood of Putin having dirt on the contortionist and the witch, and we even have an idea about the dirt itself. Now, you remember Trump was among the first to openly ask about the contortionist birth certificate, right? Read Q's board. The witch's server and uranium 1 is everywhere. Now you understand why they don't want a one-on-one between Trump and Putin. Now you understand why they are going completely crazy. If this dirt that brought Putin Crimea 20% of our uranium and SAP tech is shared with Trump, it's game over for them, game over. Now, the interesting question would be, why would Putin give this information to Trump? This is the equation Trump needed to resolve before he met with Putin. He had to meet with Putin with enough good cards in his hands to force Putin to want to give this information, and even more in order to get something valuable in return. So, Trump makes his first stop at NATO and makes sure Putin sees the video. Boom. Trump reveals to the world the former Chancellor of Germany is the head of the pipeline company bringing Russia's natural gas to Germany. This is Trump's first message to Putin. Message 1. Then, Trump achieves this. Trump forces other NATO members to bring an additional $33 billion to the table. This is the second message. Message 2. Then, Trump goes to the UK and this happens. This is the third message to Putin, M3, message 3. Then Strzok is sent to Congress to deliver the uranium message I told you about in my previous post. This is the fourth message to Putin, message 4. And voila. These are main pieces Trump will play on the Helsinki chessboard. Let's now watch the combination. Now pay attention to this because Serial Brain2 puts it together beautifully. Message 1. So this is if Trump was speaking, okay? I know he's speaking to Putin. Message 1. I know the natural gas deal you have with Germany is vital to your economy. Since it is not appropriate, the former chancellor is the head of the pipeline company that will bring gas to Germany. I have the moral ground to delay it, stop it, and control it. I can have people talk about it all day in Germany and scare the financial institutions away from it with my executive order. Furthermore, I know your involvement in Syria is also related to the emergence of competing natural gas routes in Europe. If things go well between us, I won't interfere and will let you find the right solution to export your natural gas, and the one that belongs to your friends. Message 2. Trump to Putin. You see these guys at NATO? I can make them do whatever I want. I wanted $33 billion, $1 million per lost email, and they gave it to me just after a few hours of discussion. No opposition. So, if I want, I can start a weapon race that will cost me $0 and that Russia's economy will not be able to sustain. As Q would say, 33 was the hook. Enjoy. Q1678. I'm sure your guys solved it. Message 3. I know about Russia's old feud with the Vatican and the UK with their NWO. I know Hitler made the same mistake Napoleon made trying to conquer Russia in the winter to ultimately crush the Orthodox Church. I know what they have in common. Napoleon left alone for a night in the king's chamber inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, and Hitler with his vrills and occult connection to the Vatican. I know all about this, and I also know you do too. Q133. Vladimir Putin, the New World Order worships Satan. We are on the same page on this. This is still Trump to Putin, I believe. Look how I have humiliated the Queen. Yeah. Their administrative focal point. I am a free president. I only care about my people. I am not a globalist trying to conquer anything. Did you hear my Great Fall speech where I confirmed Q1675? I said, I don't need all this space. It meant I just need America. They need more space. It meant they are the colonizers. This means you and I can negotiate in good faith with no hidden agenda. We just need to find a win-win, work for our people, and get along. Message 4. You see, I have done my homework. Did you see Strzok's hearing? I'm sure your guys also decoded how he brought Kate to the table. That's also when Peter Strzok brought that Diet Coke bottle with the name on the front that said Kate. I have flipped many officials who were involved in the Uranium One scandal and other things. I have the goods on all the layers of the government you may have dealt with in the past to achieve what you have achieved with the contortionists' administration. Good for you. You were working for your country's interests and took advantage of the stupidity of those in charge at this time in the U.S., but that era is over. I'm in charge now. So if you were considering giving me some information, make sure it's of high value because I already know a lot of it. If you want something from me, don't tell me what I already know. And of course, I won't tell you what I know. Once the combination was played, Trump and Putin held a press conference, and to make sure there is no interference and continuation of the game, their respective protocol services agreed to separate American journalists from the Russian journalists. This trick allows any question coming from the Mockingbird side to be immediately spotted as a trap, even before it is formulated, and signal caution required. Classic trick used by medieval kings. Did Trump play the combination right? Did he use the right chest opening? Well, in that press conference, not only Putin was atomized, Rosenstein and Mueller by offering to cooperate regarding the interrogation and even possible extradition of their 12 Russian of the day, but he also dropped the Bill Browder, and I know you heard this name too because I did, and George Soros bombshells, clearly signaling he is ready to throw the contortionist, Barack Obama, the witch, Hillary Clinton, and all the other layers under the bus to save his pipeline and limit NATO's strategic spending around Russia. And just in case there are still some people who don't understand what happened in the Helsinki press conference, Putin gives the ultimate hit by doing this. Did you catch it? What is Putin saying? He was reminding to the world that soccer is an 11-player game. If you don't know what he's talking about, Putin tosses the soccer ball to Trump because America takes over the World Cup in 2026. So he was tossing the soccer ball to him, saying the ball's in your court now, Mr. Trump. So he says, did you catch it? What is Putin saying? He is reminding to the world that soccer is an 11-player game. If Mueller wants 12 Russian players to play his game, Putin is ready to be the 12th player, and he just started playing by passing the ball to Trump. Congratulations, Mr. President. The show continues. We now have a new actor from Russia. So, as you see, Q1603 objective to keep POTUS away from Putin failed. So, this is huge. We now have Russia on our side. We have Vladimir Putin on our side. They were both trolling the absolute garbage out of the deep state. And I know you knew it. Right when they started doing it, they started getting along so well and just flowing. It just made perfect sense to me that they had come to a conclusion, a negotiation, and they're on the same team. So all we can do is sit back, get some popcorn, and wait for the fireworks, right? If you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and please give me a thumbs up. The more likes I get on this video, the more that it will push it outwardly onto into more people's view. It sets it to a different algorithm which spreads it to more people. Also, I have a Patreon if you would care to donate. I've had much success with this. If you follow me on Twitter at True Reporting, you'll see that I do have my official logo brand. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything like that or superficial. This is what I call it, logo brand. It's in, and this is the beginning of merch. I am getting that set up probably this week. So after that will come the website, so where you can order the merch from. And you know, if you become a Patreon, I will give you free things. There's a lot entail with that. And the people who are on my Patreon who have, donated have already seen the logo, and everyone likes it. It's very cool. It's very, it's just good labeling. It looks cool, I showed them the car decal, the bumper sticker, which will be the same logo as on my T-shirts. So the T-shirts will come in gray and white and all sizes. So guys, the support is, incredible. I'm seeing a lot of the last video I did with on JFK Jr. It's skyrocketing. It's doing really well, and just the love and support, it seems like it knows no bounds. So like I said, if you want to donate to my Patreon, please do. It would be much appreciated, and I will show you the appreciation as soon as I can. And it definitely matters to me more than you would think. Also, Please follow me on Twitter, like I said, at True Reporting. I post a couple times a day. And get ready for another podcast after this. We'll go into some memes and some other stuff. So we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.